Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your girl, Galaxy Queen Star. So today I would like to recap Danny Myers versus QP, that's Quantum Physics. This is from Iron Mouth Battle League. Okay, here we go. QP goes first. Danny, me and you have no chemistry physically, so why bring quantum to physics? You a good investment. Business-wise, you make awful decisions. And you got some investments that you regretted, right? Which ended with the losses of riches. But you came back from the dead after T-Rex, nigga. You evolved from the chicken. Bar God. So we know how QP is, you know. He's to me like a quiet battle rapper who has a low monotone kind of voice. You have to really, you know, listen and pay attention to what he say or you're gonna miss something. You know what I mean? But he do give a little aggression when he comes to the punch. Okay, so he has a style like no other. Everyone knows that about QP, and everyone knows that he's one of the best pins in battle rap. He's even rumored to ghostwrite for a lot of other battle rappers. Next, so I like at the end when he said, you came back from the dead after T-Rex, nigga. You evolved from the chicken, because we know T-Rex are dinosaurs back in prehistoric days, and they have gradually evolved into birds. Okay, that's what's rumored. All right, and birds are chickens. Next bar. Like I spend time horsing around and I would carousel through the verse. I'm here to expose this man to the core, expose that there's a trial to your hearse. That's the crust scratches the surface. Your error failed humans first. So both losses I planet within the pair of L universe. Bar God. So we know Danny Myers for always talking about the parallel universe. I like at the end, okay, so in the bar, QP is talking about horsing around, which has to do with carousel. At the end of the bar, when he says, I plan it, you know how you could plan something or planet. So it's a play on words. A planet is the Earth, Saturn, Mars, etc., etc. And then he said within the pair of L, like losses, but he really meant parallel, the parallel universe. Next bar. Nigga, my tendency to snap will kill these legends. He'll know these nerves in my bone. Nigga, on the set, guns come out, cap you, slap you. Okay, shine him an old word we learned from Sharon. So I like in the beginning of the bar when he says tendency to snap will kill these legends, but it's Achilles, your Achilles, so that was a play on words. Then I like when he says at the end, okay, shine him an old word we learned from Sharon. So he put K-Shine in the bar and Sharon, they're both battle rappers, we know that. And they both battled a couple of years ago, okay, where Shine had to check Sharon for pointing that fake toy gun at him. That's another story. Next bar. Reincarnated, oh, I saved your birth through a clone. Snakes and trees and makes it even. Adam shit like the serpent was on. So in this bar, he put snake, serpent, which is in the Bible. Even Adam, so that's Eve and Adam, Adam and Eve. That's also in the Bible. So it was a little play on words with that bar. Pretty clever. Okay, excuse me, y'all. It's so hot in here. I got the heat up like crazy. Whew. Next bar. I'll tell you a classic tale, Danny. A classic tale through the story data is fresh. You'll get the rope met for your next scene is more for saving your breath. You'll make the news soon as I push up on you, this story made for the press. So that was a little, you know, rope, noose, a little rope scheme, pretty clever. When he says your next scene, he meant your neck. You'll make the news, he meant noose, N-O-O-S-E, for the press. Next bar. I scream, ah! You know it's me, nigga, basking outside. Daniel Brigatti, nigga, catch me outside. And your family? Cloud 9, ... Yeah, your son takes after you, ... Him and his sis look alike, that's what was said in the picture. So when he gets shot next to her, bow, he gonna really look dead on his sister. So I like in the beginning of this bar when he says, nigga basking outside, Danielle Bugatti. He meant Danielle Bugatti, or Danielle Bugatti is a play on words. Danielle Bugatti is a female. She has a beauty line called Catch Me Outside. So I like how he put all of that in the bar. Pretty clever. Next bar. Nigga, to stop this coughing, nigga, no Robitussin. So disgusting. Grass greener over here is clear, let me hear that told to something. Yeah, I would chuck your body up into a plot into this hole we dug in. Oh, we sunken, ... I'll put you underground for free, trust me, they would let it go for nothing. Bar God. In the beginning, when he's talking about nigga to stop this coughing, nigga, no Robitussin, of course he meant a coffin, like a body inside of a coffin. But he said Robitussin, so coffin could be the coffin or the, you know how you cough. So I thought that was all right. Pretty, All right, next bar. Okay, at this pace, recooking you is easy bake toaster oven. Speed it up. No, at this pastry cooking, you easy bake toaster oven. Ding! You hear the ring. Shit get deadly after the phone call. You whore, writer, Pinsky. You hope to be here after the long haul. So I thought that was pretty nice. He's saying that you're easy. I could cook you with no problem. You easy bake toaster oven. Okay. And then I like when he talking about U-Haul, Ryder, and Penske. Those are all moving trucks. They do go a long haul to go to your next address. So I thought that was clever. Next bar. I prove America's Got Talent, cause what's the best show? An Idol. I will throw you a pass like what's the catch, nigga? I guess throwing spirals. Charles Dion McDowell, he's like, how? I guess you're the guy, so when you get your mug shot online, you'll be the next going viral. Bar God. So I like this bar. Remember, Charles Dion McDowell is that big neck guy, very dark skin. He's on charges in Florida, drug charges. Okay, so it was a mugshot that went viral online. This dark skinned black guy who had a really fat, huge neck. Okay, so it went viral because it's like no other. It's a neck that I've never seen before. Okay, so I like in the bar when he says, when you get your mugshot online, you'll be the next going viral. But of course, he meant neck going viral. So I thought that was clever. So he had a pretty good round, good bars, good schemes. I feel like he do need a little bit more aggression, and he had a pretty good performance. All right, so now we're going to go to Danny Myers, round one. Okay. Whew, it's hot. Now he rebuttals off the rip. Soon as he said microwave, an idea popped in my head like ding. Y'all good at taking quizzes? While all I had to do was buy his bitchin' oven, that's how easy Bae can get it. So I thought that was fire. That was the rebuttal off of that re-cooking easy bake toaster oven that QP has said. At the end, I like when he said, that's how easy Bae can get it. Bacon or bae, like your boo can get it. So that was a play on words. Next bar. ... I used the chrome to define it. First, I pistol whip him till I knock every bone from alignment. Remember when Nas put out that artist? That set the tone for the violence. Because the first thing Quan asked for was a moment of silence. So remember back in the days, Nas is an artist who had a song featuring Quan called Just a Moment. And Danny Myers is battling quantum physics, so he put that in the bar. I thought that was clever. Next bar. Ain't you a pimp? I feel sorry for your daughter when niggas meet her, because using her body for every matter is what physics teach her. So I thought that was a clever bar. Physics has to do with body and matter. You learned that in science class. So I thought that was clever. Next bar. I already know about my nemesis. Cain enabled him to be dope before he had a genesis. You using an old system, them played out schemes. You gonna be sorry, nigga. Now the fuck you birthed the sons and still end up on Maury, nigga. So I thought that was nice. In the beginning, I like how he said Cain enabled him, like somebody enabled you to do something, but he meant Cain and Abel, which is the brothers that's in the Bible, okay? Enable him to be dope before he had and dope, we all know QP sniffs dope, okay? And at the end, how the F you birth the sons and still end up on Maury, nigga. We know Maury for having that show, you know, he always doing the paternity test, who's the father on that show. Next bar. You, Clean, Prez, and Bangs have to be doubted. The irony, euphoria, kill and be happy about it. So you know what euphoria means. So it was a play on words when he said you four of y'all. But it's euphoria, meaning when you smoke weed or something, you get that high. That's what euphoria is a high. Next bar. I'm with all the scandalous shit. Fofo, Magna Ray, the damnest shit. This will knock you 2 feet. Let's see you freestyle about how this cannon kicks. I'll land the shit. Serious tactics, shoot the nigga. His mom gonna cry on cue like an experienced actress. So I thought that was fire. That's pretty understandable. Next bar. Now when he say about this cannon kicks, of course he meant a gun, not an actual can. Next bar. And when he say at the end his mom gonna cry on cue, you know, an actress in Hollywood, the cue card. So mine is gonna cry, she's an experienced actor. Next bar. My nigga worked 2 jobs to buy a whip. He came from the hard knocks and it was usual. Every time he pulled up, we gave him all props. It was beautiful. Do you believe in a parallel universe? I do. Soon as the car stopped, it was 2 of them. They did him dirty in his car, then we had a car wash for his funeral. So I thought that was a pretty sad bar, but that was a pretty nice bar. Danny Myers is always talking about the parallel universe, how things are parallel, you know, parallel meaning 2. Okay, so when he said his nigga worked 2 jobs, that has to do with parallels too. Okay, he said every time, and then he said, as soon as the car stopped, it was 2 of them. So it was 2 people who basically murdered this guy who had 2 jobs, making a living and doing what he had to do. You know, so that was a kind of sad bar to me. Next bar, ... Okay, I like this bar, he said. All the concepts I wrote for this culture, you wouldn't dare such. So you who they figure for, the best pen got me flared up. So you know QP is known for, you know, sniffing coke and all that. So you know how they say your nose is flared up? So he said, so you who they figure for, but he means for, okay, the best pen, and he's talking about Bangs, Clean, you know, QP, and the other guy, all 4 of them. Next bar, ... He writing with all these crews. I'm in his grill wondering if barbecues. You cook too slow, you shouldn't be rapping with Myers. Y'all ain't see quantum physics with this type of energy since the Hadron Collider. So you know what the Large Hadron Collider is, which is the largest machine in the world. It's an accelerator to test measure of physics and different theories and stuff. So I like when he said, I'm in his grill wondering if barbecues, or you know, barbecues, or if barbecues, meaning if these bars is really Q, quantum physics bars. So I thought that was fire. Last bar in this round. I'm the last of the writers. I came from the class of the fighters that proved themselves by lasting in ciphers. I hold the toast tight. I know where you be at most nights. If cops don't know who came up with those rounds, it means you a ghost, right? No slight, despite all that sugar in his face. Quentin's pen still got him hooked up with a Drake. So I thought that was fire. I like when he said, if the cops don't know who came up with those rounds, it means you a ghost, right? Because we know it's a rumor that QP do gross right for a lot of other battle rappers. Then I like at the end when he said, Quentin's pen still got him hooked up with Drake. Now, remember that situation with the artist Quentin Miller, and he's supposed to be a ghostwriter for Drake, and there was a whole scandal online about that, so I thought that was a clever bar. So in this round, Danny Myers had great bars, great rebuttal, lots of energy. I can actually finally hear everything that Danny is saying. I noticed that he changed it up. He's not too aggressive like he was in previous battles, and he had great performance. I'm definitely had to give that one to Danny Myers. I thought Danny Myers' material was just a little bit better than Quantum Physics. Next bars. Okay, now we're going to QP round 2. So QP did a little rebuttal. He said something about two lovers' name in the concrete. That was interesting. Till I pull a stick out with your name on it. Nigga, that submitted it. Bar God. So he did a rebuttal off of something that Danny Myers did, but I didn't write that bar down. Next bar. So we know about concrete and cement. Okay, so when you say pull that stick out with your name on it, nigga, that submitted it. Next bar. Nigga, here's a chiller. We got niggas up in Canada slaving hard for a white boy chain. Ice. I thought the Glock make him Caucasian, turn him into a Bryce Troy brain. Everything I'm hearing, landing sound like white boy names. So that's exactly how he said it. So I like when in the beginning, because we know KOTD is famous for, you know, chains and having a lot of white boy battle rappers and stuff. And then he says ice. So ice could be the ice chain, which I'm sure is not an ice chain, but he's talking about head ice, because head ice, you know, always won the chain for KOTD. So I thought that was clever. Then he said, turn him to Bryce Troy brain. Everything I'm airing, landing sound like white boy names. Now Aaron, you know, he mean Aaron, everything I'm airing, but we know Danny Myers' first name is Aaron. So I thought that was fire. And Bryce Troy, they have Bryce Funeral Homes and stuff, who's a white boy. Next bar. But I seen growth inside this pussy, I figured I'd help by assist. Get it? Growth inside this pussy, I can help by assist. Push that bar guard shit on me, nigga, like hell I resist. And then what happens? Respect is shown when you set the tone, nigga, you can tell by the pitch. Cause Q talk like a man and Danielle like a bitch. You know, it's hard trying to, you know, flow like QP. He's just different. Okay, so I do like when he say growth inside this, you know, vagina, P-U-S-S-Y. A growth can be a cyst, which is C-Y-S-T, which is like a yeast infection or a bump or something. Thank God I never had to experience that. Okay, and then I like at the end when he said, because Q talk like a man, meaning he talk like a man, and Danielle like a bitch. Or Danielle, you know the name Danielle, which is a female's name, which is a bitch name basically. So I like, because Q talk like a man and Danielle like a bitch. And we talking about Danny Myers. Next bar. ... Free bread and cheese, eggs and beans, nigga, that was wicked. Nigga, no money for your freezer, that just means your cash was frigid. Get your thumb and middle finger to meet up, you'll see the clash to friction. When you make an abrupt choice to get food stamp, it was a snap decision. So I thought that was pretty clever. I know here in New York, okay, they go to the Human Resources Building for food stamps, and they called it SNAP, okay? And it just stands for a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. So the short name for that is SNAP. Next bar. I say birth control, Danny, controls your life. It's too late to pull out that now. His son Joey, uncool Jesse, Kimmy, nothing cool about that, pal. Michelle, Stephanie, DJ, on the set you swap that child. I'm just here to check Danny's character and pay you in full. How's that sound? Bar God. So basically this bar is basically saying you got all these kids, it's too late to pull out now. And then he's saying at the end you have a full house, but he says, and you pay in full. How's that sound? So that was a play on word for full house. So next bar. Now that me and this weenie linked up, my first thought is to fry ya. Dutch could have brought worse, but you don't need to saucious to guy. I'm sorry, let me say that again. Now that me and this weenie linked up, my first thought is to fry ya. Dutch could have brought worse. But you don't need to source this guy to see he ain't in the ballpark and done Nathan to be the nation's top supplier. I said, acting like you want beef dog, you deserve an Oscar. So this was like a hot dog scheme. It had ballpark in it, Nathan, beef, Oscar, sausage, Brockworth. Even though he said Dutch could have brought worse, that's Brockworth, which is BRATWURST, which is a brand name for hot dogs. Last bar in this round. Nigga, the K blast a fade pass. You're way up in the air, I'll catch it up to you. So much mustard on it, in hindsight, course it catch up to you. Bar guy. So he basically continued that with mustard and ketchup. And I know it's a saying called put some mustard on it, meaning add energy, add vigor, and you know, it's basically a baseball reference. So I'm gonna say that bar again. Nigga, the K blast a fade pass. You're way up in the air, it'll catch up to you. So much mustard on it in hindsight, cause it'll catch up to you. So he had good bars, he had pretty good schemes, good performance. He did end the round pretty dry to me, okay? And one thing about him is that he needs to project his voice a little bit more so people can hear him clearly. All right, so now we're gonna go to Danny Myers round 2. Now, Danny Myers rebuttals again off the rip. Your mama fucked every nigga in this building, and that brings that boy shame. She got fucked by Derek, Keywan, and Joseph. Those are black boy names. Then he talking about food stamps and shit. He had a couple of dope lines that apparently was corny. Since you talking about food stamps, tell your mama I got 20 for 40. So I thought that was fire. So he basically rebuttaling that white boy name thing that QP was saying. And I love at the end when he said he had a couple of dope lines, but plenty was corny, but he meant dope lines too, meaning he could sniff dope, you know, dope lines. And then I know in New York, I'm sure they do it everywhere, people do sell their food stamps. So he's saying, since you talking about food stamps, tell your mama I got 20 for 40. Fire. Next bar. I'm not one of these league owners. You owe me bread, you better rush things unless you want to be fed your homies' intestines. Let's discuss things. I'll grab your scrawny necktie or rope around him and strangle it. This isn't quite what they mean by quantum entanglement. Then I use my first to bash in your skull and mangle it. Then stab you at 90 degrees. Not only do I punch, I angle shit. Thought that was fire. So I like in the beginning when he said, let's discuss things, but he means it's disgusting. Because remember, he said he'll feed your homie his intestines. Okay, then I love at the end when he said, then stab you at 90 degrees. Not only do I punch, but I angle shit. And we know in battle rap, you could punch in your rounds or you can do angles in your rounds. So I thought that was fire. Next bar. I hate to bring up how you be fucking with them lines. I mean, I ain't even want to put substance in my rhymes. So that was another, little thing to get at QP about his drug use. Okay, fucking with them lines. He don't want to put substance in his rhymes. Next bar. All he do is sniff checks. This nigga went and got clean and still can't pass a piss test. ... You took the term dope MC and went professional with it. So he's still getting at QP about him being a drug addict and stuff. I like when he said this nigga went and got clean and still can't pass a piss test. But he really meant got clean paper, you know, because clean paper and QP have been pretty, you know, close, even though recently they had a little dispute. All right, next bar. I can set the gun on a tripod, but I ain't gonna get technical with it. We just shoot at his rim without the legs like the Special Olympics. I grabbed the snub, loosened my belt, stuck the mag into it. Once I spot him, I line up the nose. You a bad influence. So I thought that was fire. Now you could line up the nose with coke, or you could line up the nose of a gun. And he's a bad influence either way. Whether somebody take drugs or you line up with you a bad influence to your friends. Okay, and I like in the beginning when he said, we just shoot at his rim without the legs like Special Olympics. You know, Special Olympics is those guys in like wheelchairs, but they still play basketball and stuff. So it could be shoot at his rim or shoot at the rim. Either way. Very fire. I like that bar a lot. Next bar. Ruthless, I'll come to his hood. He don't see the chopper. Once I enter quantum rim, that's when he'll need a doctor. Strange how he sees my goons everywhere he go. And I could foresee 14,605 different scenarios. So I know that that's an Avenger bar. I never saw Avengers, okay, but I know it has to do with the quantum rim and all that stuff in that show Avenger. Okay, so and he's battling quantum physics. So that was you know, he did a lot of word flips and stuff about quantum. Next bar. He nice with that pen, but my class older. Jesus, there's so many Easter eggs in these rounds y'all might pass over. Before you start slipping, you were really spitting the truth. Once Q lost his grip, that's when he was giving the juice. So I thought that was fire. I'll say it again. He nice with that pen, but my class older. Jesus, there's so many Easter eggs in these rounds y'all might pass over. Before you start slipping, you were really spitting the truth. Once Q lost his grip, that's when he was giving the juice. So I like in the beginning when he said Jesus and Easter egg and Passover. That has to do with Jesus and, you know, the religion. And then at the end, I love when he said, you was really spitting the truth. Once Q lost his grip, that's when he was giving the juice. Remember that movie Juice? Juice actually came on a few days ago. Juice had Tupac in the movie, had a lot of, you know, famous actors in the movie. Now, Q was one of his friends, and at the end of the movie, Q was holding on to Tupac. Tupac was fell off of the roof, okay, but he lost his grip. So Tupac wound up dying. And at the end of the movie, when Q was walking away, somebody was like, you got the juice now. All right, next bar. You can't beat nobody in NWX. Where the fuck is your real skill? Can y'all see Quentin Tarantino? No, you couldn't even kill Bill. So I thought that was fire. You know, the director, Quentin Tarantino, he's famous for a lot of movies. Quentin had Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2. He had a lot of movies, good, crazy movies that came out, especially in the 1990s. So that concludes this round. He had great haymaker bars to me, great performance, just enough aggression, and great schemes to me. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all know who I give the second round to later. Both battle rappers had really good second round. So, but I'll let y'all know at the end. So now we go on to QP round 3. My fear turning into John Gotti, leaving you past injured voluntarily, like you called shoddy. ... Trying to pinpoint if Freckles would be the reason he got bodied. Figured I'd meet with this burger and then it's Joe with liquor since he got sloppy. ... Whole time I'm thinking, why blast for missing shots when it's not godly? So I like in the beginning when he said my fear, but it could mean mafia. Is a play on words. Mafia, my fear, or mafia. And John Gotti was a part of the mafia. Then when he said leaving you past injured, passenger, past injured. Okay, then when he says trying to pinpoint if Freckle be the reason, he meant freckles, because then you might just have a lot of freckles on his face. Then at the end, he's talking about Joe and since sloppy Joe. Okay, and then at the end when he said whole time I'm thinking why blast for missing shots when it's not godly, he meant blasphemous. Why blasphemous and blasphemous? Pretty clever. Next bar. My ventriloquist big dog act to this pulp. It means I pull the strings. Stare into 5. Leave dread shook. Booker T. When a Drake owed the kid hiding. Why? Because this old Pusha T. So we know the whole situation with Drake and Pusha T, okay, was a big thing out about Drake being mad about what Pusha T said about him having a ghostwriter and all that stuff. Next bar. But when you got the power to ghost, nigga, who you go and grab quick? The Tommy, ... Nigga, the pistol stretch looking like bitches that practice Pilates. Arms, legs, necks, head up, nigga, back to the body. I'll insert an early Jersey, nigga, that was Tsunami. So I like that bar a lot. I like when he said, but when you get the power to ghost, nigga, and we know that QP is a ghost writer, and we know the show Power, and Power has the characters Ghost and Tommy. So I thought that was clever. Then I like at the end when he says, I'll insert early Jersey, nigga, that was Tsunami. We know that Tsunami Surf. So he's a battle rapper from Jersey, and he always say Jersey to end his rounds early. So that was pretty clever. Last bar in this third round. And you're pushing 40? You were supposed to fucking murder Pat Tillman, said it was friendly fire. So I thought that was pretty nice. Now, Pat Tillman is a former football player who enlisted in the Army, and then he got killed by friendly fire. We know what friendly fire is. Friendly fire is basically somebody on your team who accidentally shot and killed you. That's what friendly fire is. Okay, so now this round I did not enjoy this round by QP. I felt like it had too much filler. It was boring and it took too long for him to get to the punch. Okay, his voice was very, very low. A lot of people even was talking through the round. It seemed like they were bored as well. And he just didn't have enough energy to me. Okay, so I really don't know if QP will be cut out for the URL stage. So now we're going to go to round 3, Danny Myers. ... I mean, QP round here battled like he ain't in depth at all. I ain't think he was going to show up. I was willing to bet it all. I thought he was going to steal money out of AC like Luther and Set It Off. So remember that movie, Set It Off? That had Jada Pinkett in the movie, Queen Latifah. Now they were female bank robbers in that movie. But at the same time, they was working for this guy named Luther. Now, being that they were robbing banks, they wanted to hide their money inside of their job, which was in like this ventilator. It was an AC vent. Okay, so the next day they come to work. They realized Luther is no longer there. They got a new boy, so they ran to that vent like, oh, let me make sure my money is there. Sure enough, the money was gone. So they went to find Luther, shot and killed Luther. Next bar. This absurd now. I'll spray these niggas in the face and finish you. I'm a bad boy and only you would know while I'm Mace Slim and Q. 112 gauge will get the job done. I'll put slugs through you. Act wild. Watch how calm you get when that sub do you. So I thought that was nice. The bad boy scheme. He added Mace in it. He added Slim and Q and 112. They were all from Bad Boy back in the day. Next bar. Deuce, deuce, small caliber coming from the hand, fam. Tiny shit gets stuck in quantum region like Ant-Man. So, you know, the movie Ant-Man had to do with the quantum rim and the quantum region. Thought that was nice. Next bar. I'll show up to your funeral, pay my respects, greet your fam in the lobby. That's when physical realized I came to examine a body. So he's still talking about physical, physics, still using his name flips and all of that. Fire. Next bar. Dark moment. You invented to slow it down and took a total loss. The irony, you let Khan do it and never got your flow across. So I thought that was fire because, you know, Conceited, they call him Khan, but Conceited is a battle rapper who used that slogan, slow it down. I didn't know that QP also used that slogan. So Danny Myers is saying you invented to slow it down and took a total loss. The irony, you let Khan do it. Now in Brooklyn, we have a lane called the Conduit. Okay, and he said, and never got your flow across, and it has a flow of traffic on the conduit. So I thought that was pretty clever. Next bar. Get broken off. And this third, I set the course. You normally right next to Horace. Now you're right next to Horace. So he's saying you normally right next to Horace, like you're next to these hoes. Or you could write next to Horace, because he do write for Horace. Okay, and now you're right next to Horace. So I guess, I know his first name is Aaron's, but who's Horace? Maybe that's another nickname of his. All right, next bar. I watch you versus Fresco. I said you need more rhymes. The white boy beat physics like when Brent Barry dunked from the free throw line. So we know Brent Barry was a basketball player. He had an amazing resume, and he also had a 4.0 GPA in school for physics. So I thought that was clever. Last bar in the third round. I got still in my warm-ups. Wait, Brent Barry dunked while he was still in his warm-ups. The skill is enormous. I'm Robin Williams when this torch is with me, because I start the show popping out the big shell like Mork and Mindy. Thought that was fire. Now, he says he got still in his warm-ups, meaning the gun. Wait, Brent Barry dunked while he was still in his warm-ups. I'm sure he wasn't literally in his warm-ups, but he was warming up, meaning when he was warming up on the, on the court. Okay, then I like when he say, I'm Robin Williams when the torch is with me, because I start the show popping out the big shell like Mork and Mindy. Now, Robin Williams is an actor. He played in that movie called Mork and Mindy. Mork was an alien, okay, and the alien who landed on Earth, okay, and he had an egg-shaped spacecraft. Okay, so I like when he said he popped out the big shell. And the reason for him landing on Earth was to just study human behavior. So I thought this round was very clever. He had good bars, good performance, great aggression, not too much aggression from Danny Myers, where you could hear everything he was saying. Danny Myers, to me, 3-0 QP. It wasn't a body, but he definitely had all 3 rounds in my opinion. All right, y'all, I know this blog is long, so I'm going to get out of here and stay tuned for my next recap. Later.